Welcome everyone to the summer 2019 first session section of Developmental and Instructional Strategies for Pre-K 6 Social Studies. I'm Dr. Brandon Butler. I'll be teaching this course this session. In this video, I want to walk through the course syllabus, provide you with some basic information about what to expect during the class. So at the very beginning, you'll notice there's my email. It's bmbutler@odu.edu. You can contact me directly at that email or email me through the Blackboard email link. If you have a very immediate question you need an answer to, I do have my cell phone number there. It's 770-363-1003. I try my best to save weekends for family time and late nights as well, so please only text me if it's an emergency during the day, early evening, and I'll respond as quickly as I can. In either case, please make sure that you provide your name when you're texting or if you decide to call, but text is probably the easiest way to reach me in addition to email. So this class is meant to help prepare you to teach elementary social studies and to design the appropriate curriculum that affords both cognitive and affective learning. I have a lengthy purpose and an overview of the course. I'm going to skip that. You can read through it at your own pleasure and figure out, I guess, my lens through which I'm thinking about you learning social studies and how to teach it. So there are 5 course goals. First is where you're going to evaluate the state of elementary social studies education and become critical consumers of national and state standards. You will learn about democratic education and how that underlies social studies teaching and learning. You'll develop a theoretical knowledge about social studies, engage in lesson planning, the practical experience, and so you'll do some planning and some developing of assessment for student learning. You'll identify the structure of social studies. There are 4 primary disciplines within social studies: history, economics, political science or civics, and geography, and their instructional implications. And then finally, you'll construct your own identity as a professional educator in relation to teaching elementary social studies. So you have one required textbook you need to purchase. That's Parker and Beck 2017 Social Studies in Elementary Education. Please make sure you are purchasing the correct edition. If you buy an older edition, it could be that the chapters you're assigned are out of order, or the pages aren't accurate, or the ideas are not as up to date with where we're talking about in the social studies today. So please make sure you're buying the 15th edition. I do not care if you're purchasing a hard copy or renting a hard copy, or whether you're purchasing or renting a digital version. That's up to you to decide. You just will need that textbook by Module 2. For Module 1 for this coming week, I have provided you with the first 2 chapter readings you'll have to do. So if you've not purchased your text yet, or if you order it at the beginning of the week and it doesn't arrive toward the end of the week, that's perfectly fine. You will not need it until Module 2. You will also need to purchase, or if you don't already have, a copy of live text. If you wonder if you have live text or not, I can check for you to see if you have purchased that. Now, there are a number of course assignments, and some of these happen on a weekly basis in the modules, the first of which is critical reading response, what I call critical summaries. They count for 20% of the course grade. There are 6 of them because there are 6 modules. So you're expected to prepare a critical summary over the readings, and I do not want you to just simply restate what the authors are saying, what you like or what you do not like. I want you to engage in critique, reflection, synthesis of the ideas. And you'll post those through the module assignment link that's provided, and I'll talk about that in a separate video that walks you through how to use Blackboard for this course. That assignment is due before midnight on Sunday of each module. In these critical summaries, you provide an understanding of the readings, write about the ideas, questions, concerns, reactions you had when completing the readings, and I would like you to move past the I like or I don't like responses. Provide connections to your experiences as a burgeoning educator, to things you're seeing in your field experiences, to things you experienced as a student. The length should be 500 words minimum. If you go above and beyond that, that's perfectly fine. The only way your grade can be reduced is if you're going underneath that word count. I also want you to split the length between the readings. So if you have a textbook reading and secondary article readings, then I want you to spend half your length on the textbook, half the length on the articles. So for instance, in Module 1, you are reading 2 chapters from Parker and Beck. So half of your critical summary should cover Chapter 1, half of it should cover Chapter 2. And you must provide insights into your collective understanding. So you should provide 2 explicit quotes, 40 words or less, from each section. And for example, again, in Module 1, 1 quote from each chapter, and make some sense of them in terms of your thinking about teaching. Now, these are graded 0 to 100 scale. They get averaged together at the very end. As I said, there are 6 of them. That means with the grade for the assignment being 20% of the course grade, each one ends up counting for 3.33% of the course grade. I will read through them all, but I'm not going to provide feedback on all of them. You should identify 3 of them that you want feedback on and put some notation at the top of the assignment itself or in the comment section when you're submitting. Say, respond to this critical summary, or respond please, and I will know to respond in writing to what you're writing about. And I'll talk about what happens if you're turning it in late in just a few minutes. Each week you'll have a set of module activities. They will range in number. Collectively, though, they count for 20% of the course grade. Generally, they are due by the last day of the module, Sunday by midnight, but sometimes a component of one or more of the activities may be due earlier in the week because of a collaborative component that's attached to it. Those will be posted in the module activities link before midnight on Sunday, or as I said, unless otherwise noted. Again, I will share information about how that looks and where those happen in the module overview video. Video discussions occur on a weekly basis. There are 5 video prompts, one for each of the first 5 modules. There are no video discussions in the 6th module. These will all happen in Flipgrid, and there's provided a link there. You'll have to use your ODU email address, or there's a link that you can take directly through the video discussion page to the Flipgrid video for the given week. You must complete the following. You have to respond to the prompt before Friday at midnight, each module. And then before Sunday at midnight, you must respond to 3 peer prompt responses and respond to your initial response. So you have 5 total responses. You have an initial response, 3 peer responses, and a final reflective response to yours. So that's 25 total videos minimum that you have to have. So anything less than 25, you will not earn the full 10% of the assignment grade. So please make sure on a weekly basis you're hitting the mark of 5 videos total. Lesson planning counts for 30% of the course grade. There are 3 iterations of a lesson plan, and I will talk more in detail in other videos about each of these lesson plans. So I'm just going to provide a brief overview here. The very first lesson plan will be an inquiry lesson plan that uses the inquiry arc, which is something that you'll read about in the course readings, and I'll provide an overview video about it that walks you through what we're talking about in the inquiry arc process, which relates to our national standards from the C3 framework, or the College, Career, and Civic Life Framework in Social Studies. So you'll have a very particular lesson plan template that you'll use for that. That is a completion, it's not a completion grade. You are graded on a rubric for that, but you are allowed to revise and resubmit if you don't get full credit. That assignment grade is 5%. You will then be asked to extend that lesson plan into a more full live text lesson plan. The second stage, this lesson plan draft, is also 5%, but this one is a completion grade. So as long as you complete all of the components asked for in the live text lesson plan, you will get the full credit. And you'll get feedback on this as well before you revise and edit and complete it out more fully into the final live text lesson plan, which accounts for 20% of the course grade, and that one is graded on a rubric. Finally, there is a rationale assignment, which relates to the 5th course objective about developing a professional identity. There's a question you're going to answer in this class, which is, what are you teaching for in elementary social studies? And we'll walk through the assignment in more detail in Module 2 through a video and all the assignment handouts. This assignment will be done in multiple stages across the course, and I'll talk about that schedule in just a minute. So timeline of assignments and grading weights. So the critical summary again is worth 20%. That's happens across all 6 modules. Module activities again occurs across all 6 modules. Video discussion is 10%. That occurs across the first 5 modules. And then the other 4 assignments, the inquiry lesson plan is due on June 9th. The lesson plan draft is due on June 16th. The lesson plan final version is due June 28th, and the final exam, the final rationale, is due on June 30th. And those final 2 assignments are account for 20% each. So the grading scale is standard for university. If you are a graduate student in this course, it will look slightly different. The course is graded on a total point system. So when you see the weights, all of these assignments right here count toward a whole of the percentage of the assignment. So the rubric for the lesson plan and the final rationale and the inquiry lesson plan are all 20, 20, and 5. The critical summaries are graded on a 100-point scale, and at the very end, I average all of them together and multiply that score, divide and then multiply that score by 20% to equal the critical summary grade. Same goes for the module activities and the video discussions. So as long as you're completing all those things, you can get upward of that full credit. So late work. Unless otherwise noted, assignments can be submitted late. The 3 exceptions are the final rationale document, which is due on the very last day of the class, the final lesson plan, which is due 2 days before the end of class, and the final critical summary, which is due the last day of class as well. Any assignments submitted after the last day of class, which is June 30th, will not be graded. They'll be given zeros. So for instance, if you submit the final lesson plan 2 days late on June 30th, it will be considered a late grade, which is 20% of the assignment grade for each day an assignment is late. That gives you 4 days to submit an assignment, but at an ever-increasing deduction. So if you're 1 day late, you get an 80% of the final assignment grade, then down to a 60 on day 2, and so on, until on the 5th day, the assignment is not graded. There are no opportunities for makeup work or extra credit, although if you have an emergency or some permanent family issue or illness, please let me know, communicate with me, and we can work out something. Maybe I'll give you an extra couple of days on an assignment. But again, on that final module, those 3 assignments really need to be submitted by the last day of class. So this class, as I noted, is an asynchronous online course. We have no live class meetings. The work will be done through online activities, online collaborations with others, providing feedback to your peers. Generally, assignments should be submitted as Times New Roman, type double-spaced, 1-inch margins, use standard font. Lesson plans can be single-spaced because they can get rather lengthy. Please make sure you avoid plagiarism. Make sure you're writing in your own words. I hate to say this, become an increasing issue in this class and many other classes. So please make sure the work is original. You're citing appropriately on all assignments. So you'll notice the course schedule, and this can also be found on Blackboard. You'll notice Module 1. Each module runs Monday to the following Sunday, and then it starts again. The next module begins the next day on that Monday. You'll see this is all Module 1 right here. So there's the schedule. The topic is the purpose of social studies and democratic citizenship. These are the assigned readings, Parker and Beck 2017, Chapter 1 and 3. And then there are 2 assignments that go toward the overall course grade outside of the module activities, which is Critical Summary 1 and Video Discussion 1. And those are all marked in the module activities themselves and also on the course schedule. So you'll see 6 modules with details and course readings. Anything with an asterisk is a secondary reading, and I will provide that for you. Please make sure that on some modules you're reading only assigned pages. For instance, in Module 2, you're reading Chapter 6 and then only 3 pages from Chapter 9. So don't read all of Chapter 9 in Module 2, just read those 3 pages. I look forward to teaching you this summer and hope you will learn quite a bit from this course. Please let me know if there are any questions you may have about the course syllabus or course content. Thank you.